This is the 2023 Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 3i Chromebook. It's pretty unique having a 15.6-inch display and being a Flex, which means it's fully convertible. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and in this video review I'll let you know what to consider, both good and bad, if you're thinking of buying one. If you want to check out my unboxing and how I paid just over £160, that's about $200 US, I'll link that video at the end of this one for you. You will notice the weight of this one. Being an entry-level Chromebook in this larger size and with a touchscreen, there's not many ways to avoid it. It's just over 1.94 kg, that's just over 4.28 pound. It's a full plastic build. I've got the Arctic silver colour here, but there's also an abyss blue option available. The two-tone part textured finish helps give it a bit of character, and there's no fans or vents on the bottom of the Chromebook. Port-wise, you've got a fair setup. There's a single USB-C connection for power, data and display out, dual USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports, a headphone microphone combo jack, a micro SD card slot, and there's an HDMI port, that's version 1.4b. And using the left-hand side USB-C connection via my dock, my two Full HD monitors ran as extended displays alongside the Chromebook's display as the third. You've got Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2, so the usual test of connecting my PlayStation 4's controller for a bit of gaming, like Real Racing 3, was no issue. The spec I have here is the highest for this Chromebook range. That includes the Pentium Silver N6000 processor, 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. I think that's definitely the option to go for, or at least compare against. There are also model options with the Celeron N4500, 4GB of RAM and just 64GB of storage. As I've shown you on the channel recently, 8GB of RAM with the Celeron N4500 is still worth considering in 2024. You can check out my video on the Acer 314 2022 model. I'll link that in the video description here. It's nice and quick for day-to-day browsing too. Certainly with a couple of users logged in with multiple tabs, I found no issue. Whatever spec you go for in this Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 3i Chromebook range, it'll get Chrome OS updates through to June 2031. Battery life has been pretty decent too, considering the large bright display. I'd say I'm getting around 7 hours of mixed use before feeling the need to charge, but then I'm mainly finding I'm working at a desk with power anyway due to the size of this Chromebook. The 15.6-inch Full HD IPS touch display has a gloss finish. It gets decently bright for indoor use. Lenovo state it as 300 nits. Touch input felt accurate, but keep in mind there's no pen support. The bezels aren't ideal, but this is an entry-level Chromebook. In the top bezel, you've got a standard 720p webcam. The quality is good enough, and there's a privacy slider. The keyboard deck benefits from the large size of this Chromebook with well-spaced keys and a dedicated number pad. The keys have a fairly firm feel with shallow travel. There's a few points to adjust to, like the smaller left-hand side shift key, but once familiar with the keyboard, I found it pretty nice to type at. Similar for the trackpad, it's a good size, well set and responsive. Finding the speakers on the keyboard deck is also a bonus. They get loud enough and the sound is okay, but lacking in that fuller body you might hope for. Being convertible, you've got the option to use this large Chromebook in a number of ways, but at this size and weight it just feels a bit more awkward. If you don't necessarily need the convertible functionality or the touchscreen of this Chromebook, check out the video on the left now for my review of the regular Flex 3i 15.6-inch Chromebook, or otherwise see how much I paid and my unboxing on this one. It's in the video on the right.